Hello everybody, my name is Chelsea Knotts and I am a brand educator for Kenra Professional, and I would just like to start off by welcoming you all to our 2021 Trending Color class. I'm so excited for you all to be here and learn some new fun techniques after a crazy year, am I right? So before I dive in, I want us to all go around and introduce yourselves and tell me a little bit what we're excited to learn about today. Awesome. I cannot wait to dive in. So before we get started, I want us all to go on to our Instagrams and make sure that we are following the Kenra Professional Instagram. And go ahead and give me a follow as well. It's Locked by Knots. So at Kenra Professional and not Locks by Knots. Got it? Sweet. All right, so let's dive into what we are doing today. So our agenda for the day is we're going to go over our Kenra education overview and tell you why I'm here and what I'm most excited to teach you guys today. We're going to talk about the inspiration behind these two amazing looks. We're going to go through the elements of design, and then we will do our model demo. Any questions before we dive in? Awesome. Let's do it. Okay. So Kenra education. Kenra Professional always looks for tools, techniques, and live educations to offer you guys in the salon and online to be your best selves and really discover your true artistry and just hone into those skills and make it really simple and straightforward for you guys. I just have never taught or even come in contact with a professional education team who is so inspired by just wanting to make things so straight, easy, and forward for us in the salon and actually care about us and just really dive into relationships. And I would like to invite all of you guys to join our team. And definitely when you're posting, follow our Instagram, like I said, at Kenra Professional. And make sure you are hashtagging at Kenra Professional. And you never know when you will be featured on our page, which is super, super cool because we're always looking for new inspirations for ourselves as well. And you guys do some amazing things. So I would love to see all of your work. So please, 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 I encourage you to always post and always tag us. All right. So let's get into the inspiration behind these looks. So in a crazy world, like raise of hands, who has just had the longest year ever, right? I know we all have between our jobs, our families, being locked up. No one likes to be that way. So the inspiration for these looks is all we like to keep moving forward and pressing forward and making sure we always have that forward momentum. No one likes to be stuck in one place, especially in our clients. So with these two new looks, we are going to kind of push yourselves out of our comfort zones as a stylist and as a client into creating these two straightforward, very simple, very versatile looks to just make sure we're keeping our clients happy and challenging ourselves as well. Sound great? Awesome. Let's get into our techniques. Before we do that, let's go over the elements of design that we will be using in our two techniques today. So, elements of design is what the foundation is to every color. So, we break it down into 3 different steps. So, you're always going to have a foundation, which will be 75% of the Oliver color. You're going to have an anchor that we'll be using in these techniques, and that's going to be 1 to 2 levels away from the foundation color. And it's going to create or influence contrast, which is really, really pretty. And then the accent color will highlight or low light and just draw your eye to a particular area. So yeah, that will create some contrast as well. So moving on. So like I said, we have Miss Susie here. Oh, hey girl. Let's talk about our consultation with her. Consultations are so important. Especially when it comes to knowing your client and what you think will look right on her. So, like I said, we are demonstrating two very versatile different looks today. So let's go over our two designs and we'll kind of decide which would be better for Miss Susie here. Sound good, girl? Yes. Awesome. Let's get into it. Alright, so our first will be Decadent Reflection. So this is going to create diffused pops of color with giving the light illusion and just bold pop. It can also create bold pops of color throughout the. So we will go into more of the partings and all of that, but and then our second one is the Icy Peach Bob. So this can be as subtle as and or as dramatic as you would like it. And this is more of a hand painting technique, whereas the Decadent Reflection is more of a foil technique. So two very different techniques, two very versatile, and I can't wait to get into them. This is for someone who is a little bit more low maintenance on the Icy Peach Bob for just like a simple, nice, subtle glow out. Alright, so let's get into our 5 easy steps to formulation. So this goes hand in hand in with our consultation. So obviously you want to make sure you are formulating for the perfect color each and every time. So going back to our roots, if you guys have taken our DKC class, you will recognize our 5 easy steps to formulation. So you're going to find the natural level by taking out that natural swatch book panel in your swatch book and taking it up to the back of the head, pulling out the back. I like to do the back quadrant because it doesn't get as much sunlight, and pull it out and make sure you are looking for a level and not necessarily tone. And then desired level. So what is she looking at in the swatch book, or what color is she showing you on Pinterest? Gotta love Pinterest or Instagram. So finding that level of what she is expecting. And then you have to take in consider the volume and if there's going to be gray coverage or if you're just depositing or if you're dealing with any underlying pigment, all of that texture. So finding that volume and then gray coverage. So is she 25%, 50 or more, and making sure we are adding in the proper amount of the N series to get that notch or that gray coverage. And then is there any underlying pigment? So are you lifting 2 levels or more? So if as long as you have all that, that should guarantee a simple and easy formula for you to get started on your client. Sound good, Miss Susie? All right, let's get into our Decadent Reflection and break down the steps. So for this one, you are going to be parting her into 4 zigzag sections. From the ear to the occipital. So we're doing zigzag partings on all 4 quadrants. And doing a straight zigzag section down the back. So we're zigzagging this to create just a nice, soft, diffused look. Just a nice, we don't want any straight lines, so doing the zigzag partings just makes that so nice. So on the side, we're going to take her with our zigzag parting as still, and from the front hairline, we're going to take a diagonal back section, still utilizing the zigzag partings, and create a 2-inch subsection with the zigzag. And then we are going to create a slice off of that zigzag part, evening it out. And that is where you will apply the accent color. And then right off the back, so going up the sides, doing the zigzag accents, alternating every other foil with the zigzag parting and the slice technique, all the way up to the top of the head, and then in the back, she's a little wobbly. So in the back, still utilizing that zigzag section from the nape to the occipital, you're going to be doing a bricklaying pattern of the same pattern. So still zigzagging, and you'll do about, it's about 2-inch subsections. So depending on how much hair she has, that will depend on how many foils you're using. And then once you are done with that, you'll go back in and you will apply the foundation color that she is wanting. So any color that you would like to use, and then you will rinse and apply whatever glaze you are wanting. Like I said, this is very, very versatile. So let's say she was wanting just really diffuse pops of like a beautiful 8B, and then her foundation, I always recommend doing about 2 levels difference to really make sure you're guaranteeing some pop into their hair. So it just creates a nice, diffused, beautiful look. So that is the first Decadent Reflection. Any questions on that at all? Awesome. Let's move on to our Icy Peach Gloss. So for her, Miss Susan is wanting something a little less maintenance, which is nothing wrong with that at all. So for this, let's say on your cards, you are doing a global all over lightener. So for that, I always recommend parting off into the 4 quadrants and starting about 1 inch off, applying that lightener 1 inch from the head to your mids and ends, and then going back through while those are your mids and ends are processing, and doing a 20 volume developer on the scalp. Making sure you're always checking in. I always get a little bit nervous, but honestly, our Kenra lighteners are formulated so softly that it's not an issue at all. So going back in and applying that to the root, and then washing her and probably pre-toning to get rid of any of that extra brass. No one wants a brassy. And then for the accent color, once you have the foundation and You definitely do not have to do a lightening. You can also do a darker color with a lightener, and I just really want to drive in that these looks are so versatile. Like, that's what I love about them. So once you are done applying that foundation color and drying her and getting her all ready, you are going to take one of the quadrants in the front, and depending on her hairline, it can switch. But you're going to take a triangle parting from the apex to the hairline, and it will be diagonal back sections, and you are going to be hand painting, and you will be utilizing the W. So you will go just make a nice W with your brush, starting. I like to make sure I have a good tension on the hair. But W, checks, and V's are the way to go. And I always alternate, and that just creates a nice, soft, diffused look at the end of the day. And in the back, you are just doing diagonal back sections as well. And finishing her off and letting that process, and then choosing that glaze that you would like on her. Like I said, this is so very versatile. I know that on your card it says the Icy Peach Bob, which is absolutely gorgeous. You can do this with any of the brown series, with the copper, the metallic series, like any of those will just be absolutely gorgeous. So I cannot stress enough how versatile these looks are. Do you guys have any questions about them at all? Awesome. Alrighty. So now that we are done, we want to make sure that she's leaving here feeling her best. We don't want all that hard work, hard but easy, straightforward work to go to waste. So we're going to make sure we are prepping, layering, and finishing her up as well. So with prep, that is whatever shampoo and conditioner you would use. For layering, that is any of the heat protectants, any creams, anything that will alter the hair's texture. And then the finish is obviously our beautiful hairsprays, and we have so many from Kenra to Kenra Platinum. Any questions on the prep, layer, finish? Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for coming to my class. I cannot thank you enough for coming out here, and I'm so happy the world is back open and we can get back to ourselves and just continue moving forward and making sure we are pleasing ourselves and pleasing our clients as well, and just making that movement forward. And just, yes, I appreciate your time. Like I said, please make sure you are tagging or hashtagging Kenra Professional and Kenra Color. Those are the two big ones. Seriously, we feature you guys all the time. I would love to see you, and I challenge you to definitely do this look in the salon at least 2 or 3 times this week. And you will be surprised at the results you get from your clientele. Because it's all about making them happy and getting those referrals back. There's nothing like that. So thank you again. I appreciate you guys, and have a wonderful day.